Look, I get it, we're marketers, but can we be honest for a second? Logan Paul? We deeply hate that guy. But there's one thing that he does that I majorly respect, which is have an ambitious and brilliant team of media reducers, of optimizers, of web media producers. They're the best in the world at what they do. Logan Paul retains his popularity, but YouTube is a perfect information zero-sum game, so there's something we can do about that. There's a video that he put out recently where the edit is such a masterclass of retention hacking that I just had to talk about it. The video in question is called "I spent $2.7 million on the first Pokemon card." So what did this slop do to get its hooks into my brain to make me watch this 57-minute video? The video's surface promise is for one object. Its actual retention systems are 4 side quests that he goes on throughout this journey. These 4 interlocking quests keep producing new questions. Logan Paul's content strategy is cognitively easy, but surprisingly emotionally busy. Logan Paul utilizes his character to tell a redeemable anti-hero story. There's not a lot of depth to Logan Paul's character throughout the video. He usually finds himself in this cycle of velocity, clarity, and surprise. The velocity is his momentum throughout the video, trying to get to the ending as fast as possible. The clarity is when he hits these obstacles where he reflects, and the surprise is us watching and realizing that Logan Paul can grow as a human being. So what is Logan Paul's retention strategy, and why couldn't I stop watching this 57-minute video? Are you under my spell? If so, subscribe. The reason why is because retention is like magic. There's 3 main components to this spell. It's clear goals, open loops, and novelty. Clarity tells us what we want. The open loop delays the satisfaction. Novelty prevents the delay from feeling repetitive. Okay, so let's look at the 4 interlocking stories individually. The A plot supplies the clean public premise. Acquire or create a defensible world-first Pokemon artifact. The B plot creates a measurable near-term climax, the condition, the grading, and the possible of a PSA 10. The C plot expands the world. It provides history, scarcity, and a reason to keep meeting increasing specialized collectors. And finally, the D plot turned obsession into future-facing enterprise. Oh, did I get you? Yeah, this whole thing's an ad. Who would have thought? It's for his company Rip It. Okay, so let's see how Logan Paul actually uses these subplots to tell a more compelling story. The A plot throughout the video asks an important question. The B plot tightens that question to a specific thing. C plot refreshes, and then the D plot extends. If you are not like ADHD brained, the first 6 minutes of this video might really annoy you. So one thread rests as another one gains your attention, and this is why it constantly feels really fresh. The first 30 seconds of this video contain a whole movie. The cold open does not explain anything, but it keeps adding more stakes on top of stakes on top of stakes. He sets a promise for what the video is going to be like. It orients you and then quantifies the stakes and then destabilizes everything. Inserts graphics, archival imagery, calls, jokes, and factoids. Front load proof that the video will keep paying attention dividends. What I'm saying is this basically only works on kids, but you know, like who's watching this really, right? Like who's gonna watch a Logan Paul video other than like market analysts or like whatever. This hook is really efficient. The video really only gives you context when it increases rarity, status, or risk. When the narration names a card, it's always on screen. They do a great job of making sure there's always new information on screen at all times. He just wants to keep upping the stakes of the video. He just keeps upping the stakes, even though he just keeps upping the stakes. Okay, that's fine, I guess, whatever. Next. The video refreshes your attention by going back to the A plot. The call to adventure is structurally strong because the object is in a superposition of both concrete and disputed. Logan Paul brings on legitimacy by finding collectors in the same hobby. This keeps the protagonist from controlling the answer. He takes you from the normal world of collecting to an extraordinary world of Japanese historical manufacturing. Okay, so money converts this research into consequences. Once the object is purchased and graded, the story can produce an irreversible result. Okay, so let's talk about what these 20 minutes were, because I just felt like I just watched a whole movie. You could plausibly end the video after the first act cycle. The setup is pretty simple. He just bought a bunch of cards, hoping to get them graded. And then the resolution is he got the cards graded. and then they came back bad. So that sets up the next story cycle. So this apparent climax is really a failure, and it's a funny failure. Failure is funny, but it is painful. But it is funny. It destroys the current plan without resolving the A-plot. Okay, so why did he do this? Why is there still 30 more minutes to this video? It's because you as a hate watcher will not be satisfied watching Logan Paul win at life once again. So the disastrous grade forces a new approach. So let's actually look at the next acts of this video. Okay, so this is the second time in the video when the goal reset is very explicit, and the viewer doesn't have to infer why the next 30 minutes are important. And then the stakes change dramatically to something that Logan Paul could do easily to something he has no control over. This escalation works because the risk changes category. The danger is no longer just money, it's cultural destruction. So this new reinvention unlocks new people, new locations, and objects that the original purchase only plot could not access. The human connections in this video function to add new clues, constraints, and new contacts. By the final third, the story threads stop alternating and start reinforcing the same high stakes. The final third of this video is when the video finally calms down and lets you breathe. It trusts that the audience that it already has scraped will stay there for the rest of it and doesn't have to keep trying to gain your attention. But because they got you so hooked into their world, all they really need to do now to maintain your attention is slowly increase your anxiety. If you've made it this long into the video, he uses a long chunk of time to just take off one card from a peel. This long technical task becomes watchable because of the suspense and the stakes that we now hold in our brain. The edit doesn't refresh the goal, it instead refreshes the consequences immediately following the divisive actions. Okay, so the ending finally resolves the premise and you feel relaxed that you no longer need to feel anxious because a millionaire got another Pokemon card. He talks about how this whole experience makes him love his own company more. It's such a great ad for this company because it does exactly what he just did in this video, which is you love something and you gotta go find it. Retention mechanisms are ethically questioned. To me, they're ethically neutral. This video is only watchable to me because of its story structure. Does he need the retention techniques to keep the video interesting? And I honestly think maybe the first 6 minutes, the reason why it's cut like that is because yes, you need to keep this audience that's not really that interested in you and or the thing you're talking about. But the fact that you keep upping these stakes, it made me actually finish the video, even though I just wanted to talk about just the first third. Okay, so what did we learn? What did we learn, chat? Because what's the takeaway? I think the main takeaway is that you need to keep a preserved promise while repeatedly forcing new paths to evolve.